Hello, folks. Welcome to Writing the Market. I'm here with the summary of the day. I've had a fairly good day, but with a few mistakes, so I'm just going to get into it and talk through what occurred. Overall, I'm up $510 odd today. My eval is at $1,860 profit after 4 days, I think it is now. So that's fairly good. If I average that out, that's around 465 profit a day, which is a little bit less than the 500 that I want to be getting, but it's well within that range, so I'm very happy with that. Sorry. But yeah, on to the actual trades I took. So the very first trade of the day was a long. We come down, formed a nice rejection, forming some nice momentum here with a couple of bullish fair value gaps here. So once we rejected it, I saw this. My chart, it's a green candle and it's very slightly green there. And yeah, that's all it was. It was a slightly green up-closing candle with a rejection of this level and that's the level for double fair value gaps that I want to be mitigated. So it did that. It came down to it and then rejected out of it, and I entered at the close of that candle with the stop at the low of this one. It took a little bit of time. Almost got stopped out here. Almost got stopped out on the very first candle after I entered. Then again here, it swept these lows and then continued in the direction that I expected it to go. So I'm fairly happy with that trade. I read it right. Everything about it was correctly analyzed. It was just a bit of playing around at that low before we did go in my direction, but we did get quite close to my stop, which is a bit worrying at that moment, but it's not too big a deal. This trade in the New York Open session was where things went a bit wrong for me, a bit sideways. So I'd seen price come up. We'd essentially been playing around at around VWAP. VWAP is resting, the weekly VWAP is resting around here. So once we had this nice rejection out of these double fair value gaps, I thought, okay, I'm going to wait for price to retrace a bit and then enter on that around this candle high. The only issue that I missed is there is actually a lower fair value gap here. So that level needed to be mitigated there. So once I missed that, I realized, oh my god, I've actually made a bad decision here. And at the low of this candle, I reversed it. I know it's not something I'm supposed to be doing, but I did it, and pretty soon, once I'd done it, the next candle took me out. At that point, I was feeling a bit tilted. I'd done some good analysis and I wanted to take an entry here, but I chased it here, thinking that it wouldn't go any lower than, say, this level. It did, because I'd missed something before. So I opened our trader quickly and then just did a bunch of ridiculous trading. Made a little bit of my profit back. It wasn't an awful lot. It's like 160, no, like $100 odd perhaps I'd made on the account, or I think I made around $300 on those trades that I was playing around with one NQ or maybe even two NQs. I was fully tilted at that point, and yeah, I just wanted my money back because in that moment I was a pretty bad trader. Sometimes that happens, but it's happened twice in 2 days now, so I'm getting a little bit frustrated with myself. I have had a good couple of weeks without doing all that sort of behavior, so it's a bit frustrating that I did it now. It's one of those things, though. I know I'm not going to be perfect, like right at the beginning when I'm just coming out of like being tilted for a good few months and just not having my mind right, my psychology right for a good few months. So I expect a few mistakes, but yeah, I don't really want them to occur regardless. On to my next trade of the day. This one was a fairly easy trade for me in the end. We had inverted this bearish fair value gap, bullish fair value gap. With this candle, we closed below it, opened below it. We had this bearish fair value gap, never inverted it, and then we formed this sort of, came up into it, and then mitigated this level where we engulfed from, and we formed a high, and then a lower high and a lower low. So once we got back to here, I was at that moment I was waiting for a price retrace to be able to get in around this level for a 100 tick stop at this high. But once I saw just the general structure here and how it was forming, I quickly realized that that's not what was going to happen. It was more likely that we'd come up to the level that we wanted to come up to, and we were going to go down from there. So I quickly got on this trade. It was a market order. It wasn't a limit order or anything like that. But it quickly went in my direction, fortunately. I'm quite happy with that trade. So we've got obviously layered IFVG with an FVG here, with a double top, with a rejection of that bearish FVG. Perfect little trade, and just wrote it out for around 90 odd ticks. It went down a bit further, obviously, but I'm really happy with getting the 1-to-1. I had my stop when I entered here. I had my stop around here, and I was looking for a 1-to-1 there. So last trade of the day was fine. First trade of the day was great, and just New York AM session, which set me back mentally a little bit, but it's something that we can learn from. Right now, that's all from me, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow and try to do a little bit better. So, bye.